So I'm just going to jump right in. It looks like you've been doing some ice fishing today.
Yeah. We just came back from doing a little bit of ice fishing. We got about 7 inches of ice in New Jersey, believe it or not. So we did some ice fishing. We had some fun. We caught some big pickerel, some smaller ones. Nothing crazy today, but we've been on. I'm a Bassmaster, and in the off season we do a lot of walleye fishing. And it's mad random, but that's what I do in my off season. I like to walleye fish, so it's a little different.
Now, is that part of your charters that you do, or is that just personal?
No, the charters I do are walleye, bass, and ice. And ice is like a mix of thing. Like I'll do muskie trips, and I also do like just multi-species trips. But mostly the charters I do are 90% of the time are walleye and bass. Walleye, bass, and ice. Walleyes are part of it. But I just enjoy doing it. I don't know if you guys ever been walleye fishing, but
No, we could only imagine what it's like. It's freezing here. It's 64 degrees.
Yeah,
it's like we're spoiled, man. We're spoiled.
Yeah, what did you say? 7 inches of snow?
7 inches of
I don't think that
ice. Pure black ice.
Ice.
Yeah. So that's not heard of in California.
Yeah. So my brother actually is home today. He lives in Cali, out in Redondo Beach. You guys ever heard of that?
Oh, he's down the street from us
right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you took where the three of us live, Redondo's not too far from there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good to know.
So he's probably like 15 minutes from me.
Wow, that's good to know if I'm ever down there. Yeah, definitely.
If you're ever down here and you want to fish, we'll make it happen. It's no walleye. But, we can still stuff our fish.
We've already got like 3 comments about do they come with lead weights.
I had to make a joke.
I thought it was. I didn't know if it was appropriate to ask you.
Yeah. I got like 100 comments. I got like 100 comments when I go walleye guiding, and like on the comments, it's just like people just write that and nothing else. I'll be like, oh god.
My dad was just on a fishing trip, and they were doing jackpot, and he said, "Hey, you better shake my fish," because I was on a sliding sinker, ate the whole bait, so they shook it, and a weight fell out. Everyone went, "Oh, what is this, a walleye tournament?"
Oh god.
So, Lucas, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
That up.
Basically, so I grew up fishing here in New Jersey, and I've been fishing a while. I started bass fishing mostly. As you guys know, I fish Bassmaster full time. And, I've just been lucky with, like, endorsements and, doing good in the bass scene. And, of course, in 2023, you can't have one income. It's just not how it works. So I guide as well. And I have this small bake brand, but I'd say 90% of my income is from 80% is from Bassmaster. So, and the other 20 is probably from guiding and making baits and stuff. But that's just the small stuff. Guiding and Bassmaster is really what pays the bills, But yeah, that's how I grew up fishing. Flipping for largemouth, like you guys. I don't know if you guys have grass lakes, but that's what we have in Jersey. It's all grass. So
we have ponds that are more duck shit than water.
But they hold some big fish, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know you guys originated
like a 10-pounder out of here.
Yeah, I know you guys originated like the glide baits and that. You guys up by that lake area, Lake Toho and all that, or no?
Well, I think one of the big glide bait spots is Castaic, and that's like probably an hour drive from us. It's just not our scene, but we're I'd say we're scene adjacent. There's a lot of crossover guys that we know who do both. We're just not those guys.
Right. Gotcha. That's awesome, man. Well,
when you guys started making jokes, the hard part about hand pouring baits is if you're listening to like a podcast or somebody makes a joke and you laugh and you're shaking and all that, you guys just got me laughing and I was trying to hold it in. I'm holding my breath right now, trying to pour steady and my hands all shaking.
You're so funny, dude. That is funny. Yeah, that's funny, man. That's awesome. So where do you guys fish at the most? Just at home, or do you guys go out fish all over?
We do. So we got 3 different kind of things here. That's our deals. We do 3 different things. Charlie's kind of what we call a ninja. Charlie does a lot of dock hopping, and, dressing all in black, avoiding security. Daniel, tell your thing.
I just like to fish. So a lot of it is similar to what Charlie does, but I tend to, know when the security shifts are and how long their breaks are. So, I can wear, colorful clothes.
Hey, Lucas, don't think we're criminals, man. Don't think we're criminals.
No, so
we fish with respect.
the saltwater bass scene, I feel like, is in 2 different categories. It's like either you're a professional saltwater bass fisherman who has his own boat, or you're just like recreational, but semi like pro because you want to catch fish and you don't want to just go out for 3 hours and take a walk with 30 pounds of gear and a fishing rod. So that's
Right.
where I am. I'm like, I'm in the transition maybe to where it's like, I want to catch fish. I don't just go out and been like, I got 15 minutes to kill. I'm like, I got 3 hours to kill next Saturday. Let's see how that looks. Okay. The moon's up, the tide's right. All right. I want to go this time to this time. Like just over the weekend, I was like, all right, the 3 a.m. tide rise is going to be perfect. So to me, I'm like, I want to try and put myself in the best circumstances to catch fish rather than being a guessing game or is my luck good enough today?
Right. Gotcha. The tides are huge. Go ahead.
What about you, Luke?
My thing's more like, okay, I've got 3 hours to kill on Saturday, so what am I going to do for the 9 hours that I'm fishing?
True. What about you, man?
I like to. No, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I like to. I fish everything. That's the thing. Like people think like it's so one dimensional because I fish bass for a living, but I fish everything. Like so I live in North Jersey. I'm like 30 minutes from the city, and we have striped bass too. Like if you know where to look, it's crazy. Like we have big stripers running up and down the rivers over here. We've caught some 52 inches, 40, like huge stripers. And like he was saying, the most important thing is the tide.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be there on the outgoing or the incoming when it's rolling. And we just like throw big swim baits for him, and to me it's like an overgrown largemouth. So I'm like back at home, but to me it's fun. I like striper fishing, So, but that's where I stand. I just like to catch fish. I do it all. I'll fish anything. Ice. I don't care. I'll fish, I just like to see the rod bend. That's all.
Island Fishing Tackle just hopped on. What's up, Sam?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I grew up trout fishing, so that was a huge leap, I would say, from like trout fishing, like bait and weight, to fishing bass. Right. And then saying, you know what, I can actually make my own artificial lures. I'm going to start doing that. And then going, I guess if I just step it up, 2-3 notches, I could start selling these.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And it seems like the custom stuff could be like the hand pour gets big. It's big nowadays, with the custom baits and everything. Yeah.
There's some absolute wizards in the scene who can just pour anything. You look at what they make and you're just like, all right,
I'll just go ahead and say there's some absolute wizards local, some SoCal guys like Reyes, where it's like every bait I look at is compared to a Reyes as far as colors go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's honestly, it's a really competitive field, and like I said, I didn't really get into it to make money with my bait brand. I just want to make a little, because I knew it's a really competitive field. It's not like it's really hard.
And I like that you call it little when you got 35,000 followers.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, because I started my following base from Bassmaster and from that point of view. And then I'm like, dude, why am I going to the store and buying a $25 jerkbait? You know what I mean? Like, why don't I just make my own brand?
Yeah, that's what I was just. I don't know where I'm pointing this way. I don't know where you guys are seeing him, but Daniel does that. You know, he said he's going to start pouring his own stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than spending so much money, you know, but we do have some.
I thought about it like logically, like honestly, like I burned through so much tackle. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
And so
I'll have tackle to sit on for years. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was fishing a micro craw that Z-Man made for better half of a year. And I mean, like I was going through baits, and I get it. They have the Elastic, but it's like I'm losing tackle. It's either I, break off and I lose the bait, or the bait lasts me.
Right.
It got to a point where I was like, man, I could start making this. I could make my own craw that's just the perfect size. That's like in the middle for like spotted bay bass, for sand bass, for calico, but that perfect like micro size that can fit, jigs, that can fit Texas rigs, however way you want to rig it.
So Cody just asked us, he said, let's hear about smallies. And Lucas, just to give you a little reference why that would be interesting to us. Number one, we don't have smallies, but what we do have is they're called spotted bay bass. They're a small saltwater bass. Wow. I think the world record's like 6 pounds. So if you tell someone you caught a 3 pounder, you're talking about a big fish. But
that's cool.
They're a lot like smallmouth that don't have a topwater bite.
Oh wow, huh?
So
I've never caught those.
So I think people want to hear about your experience with smallies because that's kind of adjacent to spotties.
Yeah. So smallmouth bass. So I fished a lot of the major factories. I've been all around the country, and the St. Lawrence River is incredible. For smallmouth bass. And so from my experience, when I'm trying to find smallmouth, they're very elusive. They move a lot and stuff like that. When I'm trying to find them, like my brand makes a spy bait. So I throw this big ass spy bait, excuse my language. And that's just a way of kind of finding the school. They really group up. You'll get them 5 to 6, the bigger ones. They wolf pack. And I'll throw the jerk bait, I'll throw the spy bait, and I just like to cover water. And sometimes you can even drift and find the school. Like, you don't even have to touch the trolling motor. You just cast and drift.
Spy bait, are you using that more like with a wake action? Is that the deal? Is that blade on the front turning and making a wake off it?
Yeah, so a spy bait, have you guys fished spy baits or negative?
We don't get a lot of topwater for the saltwater bass.
Okay. Oh, that's not a top water. Yeah, that sinks.
Okay, that sinks, and you play it down low.
So a spy bait is something we've used on Bassmaster for years, and it's just coming to the public now. A spy bait is a sinking propeller bait. Mm-hmm. So it's got the prop on it. This is heavy. This is probably a half ounce, maybe heavier.
Because the ones I've got with propellers are all top water.
Top water.
Right. So the spy baits, they sink. You let it hit the bottom, and you reel it. That's it. And you're just right above bottom with, a spy bait. And that's it slowly moves. The prop just slowly moves, kind of like the top water, but underneath, slowly moves through the water column. And for some reason, they can't resist it. It's just like that subtle action, And that's how I find the smallies. And then if I find the school and they won't eat the spy bait, I'll throw a craw on a Ned rig, something like that, I'll throw a crawl on a Ned rig or a drop shot with a swim bait. That's another thing we do a lot. We drop shot swim baits. That's what I do. I don't think anyone does it, but that's what I do. I take a 3-inch swim bait and I put it on a drop shot.
Cody just said, take my money. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I'm like, I want to try playing that thing down low for some spotties. Because we're all thinking about
I'm like, I wonder if that works.
We're fishing Dredge Harbor, so we have a lot of area where there's no structure down there. They're just hanging on pilings.
Yeah.
So you're going along those pilings, and now I'm going like, that thing sinks, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of our fishing is done probably within the bottom foot, between, the ground and a foot above. That's like our strike zone for a lot of our saltwater bass. Well, harbor, I should say. There's a lot of structure outside the harbor that they will expend on.
They'll suspend on it.
And thank you. Could not think of the word. But when we're fishing in the harbor, it's like you want that bottom contact, and that thing being so heavy and sinking, that could probably be a definite producer, especially next to like mooring buoys.
Yes. Anytime fish are suspended, and those smallmouth, like, they're cruising those flats. So like the best part about this bait is, I'm not even kidding you, you could almost throw the full spool. Like, you're gonna have to have this on a medium heavy rod.
I'm gonna put that right on my 300.
Yeah, you'll throw the whole spool, and you'll be able to really find fish. Like, you'll be like, okay, I just caught a fish over here. Let me move a little bit, and then you'll really zone in on that spot. You know what I mean? It finds fish really well, really, really well, and you'll keep catching them on it. But if they unglue from it, throw something slow. You know, pick up a drop shot. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Like, I'll usually catch 2 or 3 good ones on a spy bait, and then once the school is like, oh, what the hell is that? You know, you got to change it up. Throw that drop shot or net rig in there. You know, so, but the big ones come on that spy bait, because that bait's like this big. So like when we're fishing for Bassmaster and we're like, we need that 5-pounder, that's the bait to throw.
Throw it.
So how big is that? 6 inches?
This Joker's at least the one I have, I think, 6.5. That's it. It's big.
So do you get your smallmouth from shore or from boat mostly?
I mostly fish from boat. Yeah, but I've short fish, but I don't know. I feel like I'm spoiled. I got a boat, and I'm giving away a boat, as you guys know. If anyone wants to go to my page and enter that giveaway, that would be awesome. Giving away a boat to someone in need.
That's amazing.
I think you probably got a similar feeling to what I have, because I have a boat too, and I'll tell people, I say, I don't mind fishing from shore, but I really like being on the boat. I'd go just cruise on the boat. Hell, let's throw some fishing rods on there.
Yeah, we were just talking about that this past week. About, we were talking about short pounding and being on the boat, and Luke's like, I'll be on the boat any day.
Yeah, I'll be on the boat when we're not catching fish. I just like being on the boat. I saw you on your boat breaking through ice.
Oh yeah, dude. That was crazy, man.
That looks sketchy.
Yeah, we've done that many times. But I mean, the ice fishing stuff is it's different. I mean, honestly, like, I know you guys are real far away, but like, I always tell people, like, it's something you should experience at least once, because it's very different. It's very different. And the stuff, like, I've pulled through the ice, like, I've pulled through largemouth, like, I'm not even kidding. Their head comes up to the hole, and it's the size of the hole. 6-pound largemouth. You're like, what the is that? You know, it comes up to the hole, and their whole head. My clients are like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's a largemouth.
That's insane.
So, yeah, it's very cool. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of I was out there today with my girl ice fishing, getting ready for the season. We got some people booked up. If you guys want to book with me, you guys can just click my account.
What's up, Gary?
Yeah, so
but yeah, it's different.
I have been lucky enough to do a little bit of ice fishing just in the high Sierras during cold winters. Ice fishing is rad. I actually fell through.
That doesn't even surprise me.
There was 2 layers, and I just happened to fall through like the first layer, and then I hit the second layer. And of course, I'm like the good part is we were done. It was like we were ending the day and we're getting off the ice, and then I fell through, and I was like, of course I'm the one that fall through.
How old were you, man?
Too old.
This was like last summer.
Yeah,
last winter.
I hate to say this real quick. Sorry, but I'm gonna grab my phone charger.
Go for sure.
I'll be back.
Go for it. That's insane, man. You felt? Was it really cold?
You know, I was layered up to where it wasn't long enough for me to get like wet, feel cold. It was like, all right, well, we're walking back to the car. Let me strip these clothes anyways. But
how far were you in? Waist, chest?
I fell sideways, so it was kind of like leg, waist.
Nick said if you don't have a picture, it doesn't count. Or a video.
I have a picture of me walking down to ice fish, but I don't think I have a picture of me in the water.
In the water?
I'll have to find that so Luke can post it later.
Yeah.
Because, we all love how Luke gets to call us all out with our pictures. Yay, Luke. No, ice fishing is pretty rad. I'm
going to tell Daniel's redemption story. I don't know if we've told it on here, but I dropped the ladder off my boat, and Daniel did an 18-foot dive to get it out. Have I told that on here before?
No, you haven't.
Yeah,
but
so
you can keep telling it. I like it.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I thought the ladder was gone. Daniel saved me a couple $100. We circled around till we found the ladder, and Daniel did the big dive, 18-foot free dive, retrieved the ladder.
Yeah,
Wow,
the best part about that is my goggles fell off immediately.
Wait, you had goggles?
Diving in.
Where did you get goggles from?
Well, we were camping on Catalina, so he.
Oh, okay. So you brought your goggles?
Yeah, so I was going to dive around and just check it out. So I had the goggles, and then Luke's like, "Oh fuck, I lost my my ladder," and I was like, "All right, well, circle around, see if you can find it, pin it, and then when we get everything done, we'll go back." And we finally find it. Again, there's 20-foot visibility because Catalina was extremely clear that day. But it's kind of just like a shimmer at 18 feet. It's still pretty hard to see. So I'm like, all right, I think I can get it. How deep is it? So
let me get a little extra jump and climb up on top of the rail.
Yeah, I jumped up on the rail. Luke yelled at me. I told him I'd never do it again. But you ask for
the rail's not for jumping.
He goes, he's spot burn.
Yeah, I got his ladder back, but that was pretty fun.
So, have you fished out here, Lucas?
I have a couple times, but only salt.
All right.
We went for
You
rock
told me you
fish
did
one
some
time.
rock
It was
fishing,
fun.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun. Honestly, it was just but we were fishing 300 foot. I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah, man.
That's why I got an electric reel.
Oh my God.
You do?
Yeah,
What?
of course I do.
I didn't even know that. I've only seen those on Instagram.
Hold on, Charlie, you don't have an electric reel?
Are you the only one here without an electric reel?
Yeah,
I don't know. Lucas, do you have an electric reel?
He's a pro bass fisherman. He's probably got dozens of electric reels.
Yeah, I got a couple.
I don't, man. I don't have an electric reel.
Shame, Well, I'll see.
You don't even have one either.
Going 600 feet deep. Yeah, I mean, you have to have the electric reels when you're going that far deep.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Dude,
We're going this deep for this freaking rockfish,
We went out on a charter as a six pack, and it's called Roger Zach, and the dude just has reds dialed, and so every drop we're just pulling up double reds. And I remember telling my buddy, I said, because he goes, we should do this on your boat, and I said, that's cool, but I'm getting an electric reel because we're doing 6 drops and limiting. I don't want to know what this day feels like when we're searching.
Yeah,
because we're doing like 12-ounce weights.
All right.
So I was up in Ventura, the Channel Islands, and so like Rosa and all them, and we go down to like 200 and 300 feet. And the thing is, you're also drifting. So if you don't have a heavy enough weight, you're probably out 400, 500 feet because it's not a straight down drop. You're out like this now. So now you have to, wind all that up.
Right.
It is an instantaneous bite when you get down there with something, and if you miss them and you lose your bait, kill.
To reel back up, right?
So do you remember where you went out of? Did you guys go out of Redondo?
Yeah, we went out of Redondo. Actually, it was like Redondo Sports Charter. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah. The cool part about Redondo is we have the Redondo Chasm right there.
Yeah.
So right outside.
Yeah, so right out of the harbor, it goes from like 20, 30, 40 feet to like 200.
What
So
the hell?
Yeah, it gets wild right there.
That's crazy. Wow.
Hey, T
I didn't
just
know that.
topped on. What's up, T?
Wow, what's up? But so Luke, just to clarify, we do have smallmouth in the state of California.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what you meant, not, but the majority of the fishing that I would say Luke and Charlie and I do is saltwater bass fishing, which is spotted bay bass, calico bass, sand bass. We get the occasional white sea bass just because we have
Not me.
Wow.
Not me.
We have
I've
hatcheries
never seen one.
that will release like fingerlings, and we'll catch those every once in a while, and some bigger ones around.
Yeah.
Then we have saltwater striper that will, I'm assuming, come down from North California.
If you get a saltwater striper out here, that's a unicorn. It's like
Really?
a couple guys will get them out here every year. But where, like, that dude George, he goes up and hits the aqueduct, does pretty good.
Really?
So there's striper around. You got to be dialed into it. It's not like, oh, I feel like striper fishing today. Like, no, you got to have a program.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, I mean, if any of these guys have any questions on here, I'm all for the questions too.
So let's hear about your PB. I want to hear about your big PB and then your big tournament win.
My biggest fish is probably 9.2. I don't think I've ever broke, just from being from New Jersey, broke like 10 pounds. I think I've been into Florida like one time, and that's where I caught that big one that we went to on tour. I've had a lot of like top 50s. I've finished top 20. I've won locally a couple times. But I'm waiting for a big break, just one big break to win one of these pro tournaments. It's just so hard. I mean, you're competing against like Mike Iaconelli, Chris Lane, Bobby Lane, all these guys that have been doing this for so long. And it's like, once you get up here, I can't explain it. Like, you'll get people rip on you like, why didn't you do good in this tournament? I'm like, you don't even understand. Like, people don't understand what level. This is like going into the NFL and like me playing football. You know what I mean? Like, the level of people that fish these tournaments, Brandon Polinick, that guy won Angler a year back to back, like, is next level. It cannot be explained, like, just from me telling you. You have to go in and get your ass kicked. And then you'll be like, okay.
Well, and one of the things we were talking about the other day with one of the other guys on here is I said, me and him will fish pretty even, and then when we get bad conditions, he's still fishing good. And I know from I used to do competitive shotgun shooting.
Oh wow!
And that was it. As soon as the weather got bad, I went here, and those top guys are getting almost the scores they're getting on perfect days.
That's so true. It's the guys that can adjust like instantly on the fly, like with the weather, or like. They're next level, like I'm good, but like if I, it's just like if it's not directly in my wheelhouse, like if it's flipping grass or like, let's say like fishing a flat for smallmouth, like I'm really good. But like there's guys that like Brandon Polinick, like that guy can catch fish. It doesn't matter if it's 10 degrees outside and there's ice all over his boat, like he's catching a 25-pound bag. Like, then that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Even like I compete against these guys, and like I said, I have my good tournaments and I have my bad tournaments. But to be in the top 10 every single tournament, that's like, it amazes me. And I keep competing against them. I'm like, what? Like, how are you in the top 10 every tournament?
So somebody asked, what's your strategy when you're fishing like a new spot, like a new tournament spot?
So, like, my strategy is I turn and burn. Like, especially when I'm fishing for smallies, they screw up a lot. So I burn 60 gallons of gas a day. Like, I'll just – and that's like $350 for those of you who watch it. I'll just basically
that's East Coast gas,
I'll fish to one area. Yeah. You're right. It's not like the gas down by you guys.
Yeah.
No, it's not, man.
That's my strategy, as I like to cover water. I'll fish one section for 10 minutes. The fish aren't there. I'll just keep moving. So it's a lot of turning and burning for me. A lot of different baits. One of the baits I used, I mentioned before, was a spy bait to locate fish because you can cover so much water. And a jerkbait. Spy bait and a jerkbait usually when I'm looking to find fish. Here's a good one. Live scope and live scope question. Holy shit. I guess I'll answer that one too.
I think that was
Yeah. Yeah. So
Are you the one who
scope-
pinned that, Daniel? I like
Yeah.
that.
I didn't
like
know
that.
if you guys could actually see the
Yeah,
pins.
we can.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that pin. Yeah, it's good.
GKs
What's your
too.
favorite jerkbait? My favorite jerkbait's the one I make. It's chrome blue. If you click the link in my bio, you can shop it. It's called the Twitch Boom. It's $5. Side imaging. Okay, so
Real
I
quick,
just
before you get on that, I got a quick question. Jerkbait.
Yeah.
Let's throw price out of it. Why do I want your jerkbait over a 110?
Okay, so my jerkbait actually has much different action than a 110. My jerkbait is if you put a 110 and a Rapala floating. Have you guys fished those Rapala floatings back in the day?
I've
You guys ever
fished
fished
quite
those? The floating more?
balls. I wouldn't know which ones are which though.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just
so they make
I always
one
liked
that, so they make one that is a floater. It only dives like 1 or 2 foot. It doesn't suspend. It's none of that. So my jerkbait is probably a cross between the Mega Bass and the Rapala floater. So it doesn't really suspend like other jerk. It's like
popping
half
back up.
suspending. Right, exactly.
Which
And it just
sometimes
gives the
that gets
fish a
them going.
different look. Yeah. It's just a totally different look, totally different action, and you got to keep it moving. Like most jerk baits, you kind of stop. Like when I fish my jerk bait, it's like I keep it coming. That's how you fish my jerk bait. It's not like you don't pause it for 10 seconds. Like a Mega Bass, you could pause it for like 10 seconds and it stays down there. Mine, it doesn't work like that. You got to keep it moving, but it's a different look. And I'm not trying to make the same stuff over and over and over that you guys are seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have
So I wanted
any
some
chance?
What's that?
Yeah, it seems like you also made a jerkbait for your specific fishing style. As you said, you're a turn and burn. You use 63 gallons of gasoline, to where it's
Correct.
like that's something that is specific to your style of fishing and complements what you're doing. So that's kind of cool to hear those continuities right there.
Yeah, you don't want to turn and burn and then be doing a bunch of 10-second pauses.
Right. Exactly. And the thing is with it, like I turn and burn, and like he said, like if I find the fish though, I don't move. Like, but the object is turn and burn is to find the fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So what you're saying
That's the
is once you find the fish, now we can put on the 110.
Yeah. Exactly. No kidding. No kidding.
Jack Angler asked, does yours float?
So my jerkbait. This is the color I like, by the way. My jerkbait. Look at that. It's a chrome blue. I know it's hard to see in the damn box, but there it is.
What's that, like 2-foot diver? 4 foot?
Yeah, this is 3 to 4, right there. 4 foot. But yeah, so my jerkbait doesn't float. It's in between. Like I was saying, it's probably like, you know how Mega Bass are super suspending? Mine's like not like that. It's in between floating and sinking. So yes and no. I guess that's the answer to that.
So Banana Union just asked me what my style of fishing is.
Yeah.
You have a style?
Exactly, Luke. I like to use everything. As a bait maker, it's fun for me to be able to be like, well, I fished this on the Tokyo rig. I fished this on the Texas rig. I fished this on the Ned rig, the drop shot, yada, 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 yada. And that way, if somebody come up to me, they go, what's the best way to fish? I go, well, how do you fish? Let me make you something that complements how you already fish, and that way you're confident to fish it, but also confident enough to catch fish in it. Right. Kind of leads me into the next thing, because you were saying you'd use the Ned rig or the drop shot and stuff. Yeah. As a bait maker, what is your go-to color? Like you're like, all right, I'm moving over to a plastic. What's something that what color am I going to throw?
Hey, Nick says you only throw Dallin baits. I know you also throw sudden impact.
He does.
Me, other people's stuff.
Me, you're talking about me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I throw it all. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and like push myself and lie to you guys. Like every guy in Bassmaster throws every bait. Mm-hmm. Like that's just the reality of it. Like we have every bait. Like General Swindle, he has 13 fishing Strike King stuff in his box. I know because we talk. Like that's what he has. He's sponsored by Rapale. He has all kind of stuff. I got all kind of stuff too. But he was asking about colors, and I want to talk about colors for a second. Honestly, like this is a swim bait I make, but this is my favorite color. It's like this blue on the top, kind of. I'm a little colorblind, but it's this like black and blue swim bait. It's clear on the bottom. I don't know, for some reason, like the typical black and blue always works for me. So if I'm going,
I like the blue flake in that, by the way.
What's that?
I like the blue flake in that, by the way.
Yeah. It's a great bait, and it works. And like, here's the little one. Like, I just throw this little thing on a drop shot. You know what I mean? It's just like a little swim bait. It's all on a drop shot, and no one throws a swim bait on a drop shot. So that's one of my secrets.
I can't remember the answer to this, but I asked you at one point. I'm going to ask you again because it's a great question, and you had a great answer. Why would I like that better than a Kitech?
So our baits don't rip as much as a Kitech, I'll be honest with you. Like Kitechs are almost disposable at this point. Our baits are really good. I don't think I've ever broke one. I'm not even kidding. I've caught 10 fish on one. That's probably the max, and then I'll switch them out. You know, sometimes like I have eyes on my baits, and sometimes if you really beat them up, you'll get an eye that comes out. I don't know if you could see that. We have eyes on them. So sometimes I'll take a little super glue, or if I'm lazy, I'll just rip it off and put another one on. But like they're really, really durable baits, and I've never had a problem with ripping or tearing or anything like that. Their plastic is very good, and that's the difference. And honestly, and you know, those Kitechs, after a while, you know, you catching one or two fish and they break.
One fish.
Yeah. So,
one fish is breaking.
Say, you know. You put it up against a calico, I'm sure they'll break. But Kitech, you get one fish.
Yeah.
One fish, man. One fish and it's done.
Yeah. So, but that seems like a lot of brands are going that way. But that's, you know, like I said, like me creating the brand, like I'm lucky because I had this brand for me was just something to do for the angler. Like we're giving away a boat. Like I took all the profits and I put it into a boat giveaway. And I just wanted to do it for the angler because I'm sick of paying these prices.
So someone said your plastic's also a harder plastic and it gives you more body roll.
Yeah. Our plastic is definitely a much harder plastic, and you can kind of see, like when you look at it, like we got nice rivets and stuff in there to really, really give that tail. It pushes the tail nice in the water. Really, really nice. Best show on IG. Wow, that was nice. But sorry, ADHD kicked in. But so that's our baits. But honestly, like our top selling baits, we have great plastics, but we sell a lot of hard baits, man. We sell, you know, we push hard baits, spy baits, jerk baits. Sell, I don't know, is blade baits big thing by you guys?
Yeah.
We're big with blade baits. We got all kind of.
What's the big one out here? It's the Warblade.
Warblade, right? I've heard of that. So we got all kind of blade baits.
It's a local Demiki Warblades.
Oh, sorry, the axe blade. You mean
axe blade? There we go.
Yeah, axe blade. Yep.
Yeah.
So our brand is really popular with the blade baits too. We got like these blue blade baits. See that? We got like glow in the dark.
How heavy
we have
are those?
Pink blade baits. What's that?
How heavy are those?
All half ounce. But that's we move a lot of blades, and then we make these baits for walleye, but I use them for bass too. Another tour secret. It's like our trophy crusher. It's a vertical bait, very heavy. And when we see the fish on the graph, when we see them down there, and a lot of guys have these in their boat, again, on tour, when we see them on there, we drop on their head. And that bait, you fish it right off the bottom, and it looks like a dead fish. It goes like this. It does 360s. The action's sick. It's an ice bait. It started with ice fishing. But we move a lot of those. Basically just a vertical jig. But
I'm actually thinking about picking up one of those because we do a lot of dropping right down on a pylon.
Yeah.
Which is where people use the axe blade. because it's like your blade, but it's more like ounce and a half. So you're just getting it right down there, and then popping it up.
Right, that's exactly how we fish those trophy crushers I showed you. They work great, and they catch everything: bass, walleye. I know because when I walleye guide, people will hook into smallmouth. You know, you're like, oh, there's a small, you know. So they catch everything, largemouth. But yeah, those are great, and it's just a different look. You know, the bait's like vertical and it hops up. So
does it
totally
does it pop around too, or is it straight up and down?
It's on a 360, so it actually does total 360. Doop, 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 and then you kill it, and that's when they hit it. Doop,
oh, crazy.
Doop.
Somebody asked, what hooks do you use on your hard baits?
I use all VMCs out of the package, and sometimes I change them, though.
Who
like,
makes a VMC?
I'll have a little... What's that?
Is VMC the brand?
Yeah. Yeah, VMC makes hooks and Mustad, but mainly VMC with my baits. But yeah, less weights in the walleye. Oh God, here we go.
You know that was gonna come.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I have a quick question. What is Jersey's kind of a state record for bass? Because you remember
state record for bass is 8.2.
Okay,
in New Jersey.
Mentioning that you don't really get a lot of large.
What's your big one in Jersey?
7.2.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's not far off of the state record right there. So that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now you said you went down to Florida because you were doing a tournament down there. Are you more locally in Jersey doing the tournaments, or do you go to other states?
No, I follow Bassmaster. I go all over.
Okay.
So I read the schedule this year. It doesn't come by you guys at all. We're down south or up north. That's
so it.
Doesn't
go to Clear Lake or anything.
No, they go south or up north. So I got one in Tennessee, one in Maryland, one in upstate New York, one in Virginia. You know, I'm going all over. So
where did you guys fish in Florida?
We fished in Florida in Kissimmee.
Is that in northern Florida?
Yeah, yep. Northern Florida, up by like Orlando and stuff.
Yeah. Nick just said they can't hang in Cali. Nick, we can't hang in Cali either. No one wants to come up here and not catch
fish. We got
fish.
the most pressure.
Yeah. We might
Potomac's a good picture.
You know, we might not experience as harsh as winters as around the world, or just, you know, the states wise, but lakes are so pressured that it's hard.
Well, in New Jersey, we have one gas lake. I don't know if you guys know that. We have one gas lake, and everyone's on it. In the whole state.
What does that mean by gas lake? Like that's the only one that you're allowed to use.
The motor.
Yeah.
Motors.
Yep.
Interesting.
So
there's huge regulations to the lakes around here, just because a lot of them are reservoirs. So you have to have this and that. You can't go from here to there. You have to have so many days. If a drop of water comes out of your engine, your boat, you drop a tear anywhere in a water bottle, you can't.
Yeah, they do water checks before you come on the lake because there's a muscle issue.
Sure, your guys' lake is absolutely crystal clear, ain't it?
There's a lot of crystal lakes.
Depends. We don't have a lake. You gotta go to the lakes. The closest lake is probably an hour away.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the places that we'll fish that are local within 30 minutes are more ponds that get, runoff. It's
like park
right
ponds.
Now outside.
Man-made lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Castaic Lake. I think it can get dirty, but I think for the majority of it, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's funny because we have one main lake. There's other lakes, but they're puddles. They're small. there's one lake that's like half New York, half Jersey that I guide on a lot. It's Greenwood Lake, but the rest are just so small, And so we have like one main lake that you can really get your boat in and out of, and stuff like that. And the other one's half Jersey, half New York. So I don't really count that one because it's like split down the border. So we really just have like one nice sized lake, and the rest, like I said, that allow gas are like puddles. Mm-hmm. So we really only have, for me to put my big Z21 in, my big nitro, we have like one or two lakes I can go to, and it's crazy because, like you said, like the pressure is insane, So
how often are you out fishing?
I fished 275 days this year.
That's it?
Yeah.
Insane. That's it.
That's how much Daniel fishes. He doesn't even have a boat.
But you gotta, man, Daniel lives, he just walks outside and he can fish.
Yeah, where
wow.
he lives? He's trying to.
The what? I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, Daniel can fish from his front porch.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean there's fish there. There's no fish where I live.
Yes, there is.
There's
Yes,
no
there
fish
is.
in Del Rey.
So the days that you're fishing, does that include all charters, or is it more like personal too?
What's that? Sorry, go ahead.
Is it like you're fishing? Is it counting your charters, or is it
yes,
personal?
Yeah, exactly. Fishing? So last year I did 125 charters, and the other days were personals and practice for Bassmaster. A lot of practice days. And just on the water. The guiding's nice because it forces you to be better. You think you want to break, you're tired, and you want to go home, and you want to relax, but you got 120 guide trips to do just to keep the lights on. It keeps you on the water, and that's what people don't realize. I started guiding because I knew it would help keep me on the water, because I want to get better, So that's why
I started pouring up.
So you're actually, practicing as well, right? While you're doing your charters.
Yeah, like if my clients are like catching fish and stuff, like I'll throw a glide bait or something. I'll just fool around, but you always have a fishing rod in your hand. That helps. When you're competing at this level, it's like you can't not be every day out there almost.
The guy who I go out with when I'm freshwater fishing in Florida, that's his deal. He's a tournament angler. When he's not doing tournaments, he's guiding.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That is 100%. And like the ice fishing business was the best thing I've started, because if you're a fisherman and you're here, what are you going to do in the winter to make money? For us, you know what I mean? If you're on this side of the country, what the hell are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I always just sat home twiddling my thumbs. I'm like, just got to be something I can do to make money. Like, so I started.
Well, especially I'd imagine if I'm there, I might not have the means to go get all the stuff I need to do to ice fish. Now I can pay to tag along with you.
Exactly, and that's the thing that people don't get about, like, I ice fish guide here in New Jersey. Like, yeah, you can go out and ice fish, but you have $2,000+ in equipment.
Yeah,
are you going to do it right?
The tent.
Are you going to do it right? You got the tent, you got the heater, you got 50 tip ups. See, when I go out, I got so much shit. Like, I got to set it all up. I got to get it all ready. It makes you more efficient when you have everything. You can go out and put a bobber and a worm on a hook. It don't mean you're going to catch anything.
So, do you have your specific ice fishing spots, or when you're fishing during the year, are you marking stuff like, oh, that'll be good when it freezes?
No, I have particular areas I hit. Like, this one area I know they move into in the winter. And the winter fishing's tough because, like, you guys know, it's the same shit. You got to be on top of the fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to – if they see their bait 100 yards away, I don't think that joker ain't going to swim 100 yards away.
You got to put it in front of their nose.
You got to put it.
Yeah.
Powered get anything is
Yeah. So, yeah, I have spots where I know the fish kind of funnel into, and I can get a piece of bait. We use mainly shiners. I can get a piece of bait or a tip up, with a piece of bait down the hole and in front of their face. But I also have spots where we chase, like, we have muskie here, and I've done a lot of stuff with my career, but pulling a 52-inch muskie through the ice was probably the craziest thing I've ever experienced.
Sounds pretty crazy.
Just because, it's man versus fish. Because a tip up is, it's lying in your hand. And when that thing takes a run and you see that thing at the size of the hole and it's the size of you, you're like, what? Like when I looked down there, I was like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like my clients catch those fish, they're hooked for life.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Just a 52-inch fish in general is potentially fish of a lifetime. And then you talk about pulling that through the hole in the ice.
That's what I'm saying.
How much stakes instantly go up when you got that ring of ice around it.
Yeah, and then that's the problem, man. Like when you pull a fish like that through the ice, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. We didn't kill the thing, but we gaffed it. How the hell are you gonna get through? The fish is 35 pounds. You ain't pulling that thing through. My buddy's like, hold on, we gaffed it in the gills, and obviously it swam away, but you ain't getting that thing through, man. And the worst part is when they're at the hole and they're shaking their head because there's ice on that hole. It don't matter what leader you have; they'll break you off rubbing against that ice.
Now you got structure right there.
Yeah, that was my question: is what pound test do you use for that leader between you and the ice? Because depending on how thick that ice is, do you stick your rod down there to kind of like pull them up?
We use tip ups, which is like hand line. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. Like the flag goes up, and then you hand line it in.
Oh, so you're not using those little rods.
Videos,
right? So we use those tip ups because you can get real heavy stuff on it. Like we put a 65-pound braid to straight metal leader. That's what we use.
Okay, so you've got a wire on the front.
Yeah, we've always got a wire on the front, but it seems like seriously, one wrong move, that fish is so strong. Like I've seen people break leaders. Like my clients have one wrong. So it takes two people. One person has to hold the tip up, and then one person has to hand line it in. But the person holding the tip up, that's what I do as a guide, has to keep the line off the ice. Because think about it, you're around ice. So if that line gets caught on the edge of the hole, there's line all over the ice because you're reeling it in. Mm-hmm. And that fish takes off. There's a couple times where I caught one and like the line, like it looks like it's gonna get stuck on the hole, and that my buddy reels it in. You gotta play with the tip up because if that line gets caught on the ice, dude, snap, gone. 65-pound braid like it's nothing, you know. So you got to be really careful. Catching fish through the ice is like trophy fish like that. It's totally different. So
now, is there a specific, I guess, species that you target when ice fishing? Is there an easier, I guess, species or type of fish that you're like, yeah, we're going to go for perch, or is it just like whatever bites?
Yeah. So I do like multi-species trips, and it's kind of like whatever bites. It's usually like perch, bass, pickerel. But like when I also do trophy trips, so I do two things. I do actually starting now. We're already getting a lot of bookings. So if you guys want to book, you can check it out. The people watching, but we do like multi-species trips where we take people on the ice just to see the flag go up. We probably average 15 fish a trip, and the flags are popping up all over the place. And then we do like trophy hunt trips where it's like 50-50, you'll get a bite. But when you get one, it fishes like 50 inches. You know?
Now,
when we use huge bait,
when they find your charter, like for those trophy fish, like they know that they might not catch anything.
Yeah.
Like go big.
So like basically, like when I get people that want a trophy hunt, I straight up tell them like, listen, like I'm not gonna mess with you. Like this is a 50-50 chance. Mm-hmm. We can literally not catch anything. That's what I tell them straight up before they book. So. And then there's
it's for the best.
Yeah. I don't want to get yelled at. No one wants a bad review on Yelp, right?
No, I've done tuna trips like that where people are like, oh, we can go into the island and get that. And it's like, no, we're doing tuna or bust.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly like muskie or bust. That's what I should call it,
Yeah, we just got a new name for your charter.
Yeah, there you go.
Muskie or bust.
There you go. Yeah.
And the truth is though, like, occasionally we go on those tuna trips, it's tuna or bust, and you have a full boat skunk, and it's hard coming back from that, but you at least feel like you laid it all out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like I tell my clients, I'm like, listen, I can just do the best I can do. And another thing that's really tough, like this is crazy, but like the easiest thing I probably do, not easiest, but like catching walleye is tough, man. I know you guys have never done that. Like if you're not from like Lake in the Woods where there's a billion of them, they're finicky. And that's another total skill. And I've been blessed with it. Like our biggest one is like 12-10, like almost 13 pounds. I've been blessed with it, catching a lot of 8-pound walleye, like a lot. We have big ones here. But that's another total skill. Like they're hard to get to bite. Like you could see them on the graph all day, they won't bite. You know?
Yeah.
And if you go on YouTube and Google walleye, there's videos of the walleye just looking at the lures.
me and my buddy were out. We did an AM. So me and these guys did an AM trip where we did pretty good. 2 days later, we do another AM trip. I think it was literally 2 days later, went at 3 a.m. And I can see so many fish on the graph. And we had I had 2 fish that day. It's like
Wow.
I caught 2 fish and I probably saw 100.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And it was not
so
bait
much.
I was seeing. Those were good sized fish.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot. Like nowadays, the guys, I don't know if you guys know, like nowadays they drop down cameras. The guys on Bassmasters all got aqua views on their boats. I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know.
Where they got the thing and they kind of like a periscope put it into the water.
Yeah, that's a flogger. We call that a flogger. Yep. Yep. Yeah, they got all kind of stuff. Now they got cameras, the AquaView cameras. It's kind of sad because our sport, like I love what I do, but they got to figure out how they can make it fair for everyone. Because some guys have 6 graphs on their boat. I can't afford 6 graphs. I got to keep my lights on, you know.
Right.
So
Black Flag asked, what's the conversion rate? Does the ice get in the way of landing the fish often?
So the ice does get in the way, but I'm going to give you a conversion rate just because we have 65 pound to a metal later. I'm going to give you a conversion rate of 95%, which is pretty good. But I mean, if you get someone that doesn't know what they're doing and not seasoned angler, they can really, really break that leader instantly just by horsing it.
That question was from Black Flag. I'm just going to show this off. Black Flag did all my rod butts with my logo on them. They look so sick.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we've got that plaster down the side of the boat. Now it's on all the rods.
That's sick. That's sick. I like that. Got to support the small businesses, right?
Yeah, he does all of Daniel's molds.
Oh, wow.
Well, he does all the 3D printing for my molds to get done. I started out hand carving all the baits, doing all the work. But the difficulty with that is I can only get one mold.
Just admit it. You have the company that Black Flag built.
Absolutely. Anthony, it's all his. Just make a call, Anthony.
He picks the colors. He tells you how to do it. Tells you the ratios.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I fished flounder before. Have you guys fished flounder? Right in Jersey Shore, I fished flounder.
Out here, we have halibut.
Halibut.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's cool. I've always wanted to catch a halibut.
Not the Alaska halibut. We have, what do they call them? California halibut?
California halibut.
They don't get quite as big. They get what, like in the 40-pound range? Do they get up?
They get big.
Do they get up to the 50? I don't know.
That's
50 pounds?
I don't know if they get to the 50 pounds. I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking the comment section.
Oh,
that's a good use of the comments.
Right. For the three of us, I would say halibut comes as bycatch. Like we're targeting bass, and a halibut might accidentally bite.
Yeah. For me alone,
Pacific halibut
or the bycatch. I don't know why. I just can't catch a halibut for the life of me. So
yeah, if I'm trying, I don't catch anything.
And there's people that actually go out there and like they target halibut and they catch halibut.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
our buddy Rick does good on halibut.
Say that again.
Well, freaking
halibut record 67 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, I got some family over, so I got to probably head out. If you guys got any other questions for me, I'll take one or two more.
Tell us about the boat real quick.
Okay, yeah, I can tell you about the boat. So I'm doing a boat giveaway. So if you guys want to win a boat, you can go to my latest post on my Instagram and enter. If you want to book a charter or buy baits, a link in my bio. You can find everything at the link in my bio. And don't forget about the boat giveaway. And I appreciate you guys having me, man. If you guys want to do this anytime, I'm super cool with this kind of stuff. Just hit me up and be like, hey, Bogo, you want to hop on live? And I'm down to do it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
We probably will want to do a part 2. And I also, I'm hoping I'm getting his name right. Is Seth? Is that your
Seth,
guy's name?
Seth is one of our roommates on tour. I got 4 roommates that we travel with Bassmaster, and
he's a co-angler, right? Which is something
Correct.
I'm interested in hearing about.
Yep. So yeah, we could bring on Seth next time. That's not a problem at all, too. So the more the merrier, I guess. But anytime you guys want to do this, man, I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit you up. We're working out the January schedule right now.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys having me.
And some of your baits soon, man.
What's that?
I said we'll be getting some of your baits soon.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. And I wish I could stay a little longer, but they're just like, I guess my brother's here from Cali, so he's like, dude, like we're opening our Christmas presents because he hasn't got here yet.
So wait, your brother from down the street's over there right now?
Yeah.
You should go
He's right
hanging out with a
upstairs.
bunch of his
talk
neighbors.
to people from Redonda.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him I saw your people. I always mess with them because you guys tend to say, and I joke around, right on. So I always tell him like, right on. I don't know if that's a Cali thing, but like, right on, dude.
Hang loose.
Yeah.
Tell your brother Manhattan Beach said what's up.
I will, dude. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for having me again, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Take it easy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Lucas, you have a good one.
Later.
Let's reposition this. There we go. So we'll get down to some nitty gritty. We'll do some of the house calls. So I have a giveaway coming up shortly. I'm going to create the post this Saturday. That's going to go live, and then, just the normal stuff, comment, repost, and that will get you an entry. I've already started showing what's in the bags. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bill from Sudden Impact, Shannon and Bill, they have sent more than I could ever
Are you
imagine.
going to be splitting that lot, or is it just whoever gets it is going to get the whole thing?
Oh, no. So there's going to be 5. There's going to be 5 separate packages, and then there's going to be a 6th from Snag 'em Tackle. He decided that he wanted to jump in, and whoever wins the 6th, he's going to give his own bundle for the giveaway. So that's kind of cool. So there's going to be 6 separate chances to win. I'm going to make it to where once you win, you can't win again, so that there's 6 different people, and it's not like the same person winning each time. I don't know if John Sosa's still in here, but if he enters, you'll probably win all 6 of them, and we don't.
I'm just asking the question that everybody's asking. There's so many baits. Why aren't you having 20 winners so we can all win?
So we could all win.
Yeah. Is it because you don't want to put in the hard work?
Because I have to pay for shipping.
That's
You don't have to pay if I win.
Either I pay 5 shippings or I pay 10.
You don't have to pay if I win.
I want 10, 20 winners.
That's next
Everybody's
year.
a winner. It's going to be like an Oprah episode.
I didn't realize that
You're a winner.
you guys. Yeah, you're a winner.
You get a bait. You get a bait. You get a bait.
Everybody gets baits. I wasn't expecting Bill to send, as many baits as he did. I asked for. I was like,
People
hey,
are going nuts about the 20 winners
20
part. They're loving it.
Winners. You have to do it now.
Spoken.
Luke, I fold under pressure. This is not okay. Not allowed.
I think that's how Glizzy's on the ramp started.
Oh, that's exactly how Glizzy's on the ramp started. Jeez, you guys are putting me under pressure right now. I fold under the weight.
So, how was it on Saturday, Luke? Did you fish?
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
And you were solo?
No, Ethan went with me.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I'm starting to explore using the jerk baits when it's tough, trying to entice a bite when they don't want to bite. I got a really good bite. I'm assuming it was a sand bass just because I've caught sand bass in this particular spot before. I was using a 110 plus one, so it'd go a little deeper. And that thing pulled a little drag. I think I had the drag a little light, and there was one fucking kelp strand there, and it found it, and it wrecked me in the kelp. Yeah, it was. We had a one fish day. We landed one sculpin, and we went everywhere, all over the harbor, all the usual spots, even new spots that have always produced fish. Saw fish, they didn't want to play.
So you went out, Daniel, this morning or what?
No, I went out Saturday. Luke went out on the boat, and I went out shore pounding.
And
that fishing
and different areas.
Yes.
We were very far away from each other.
We were very far. And what I mean by different areas is I was waving at Luke while catching fish, and as he drove by.
You guys went to MDR?
No,
Luke was in Long Beach.
Yeah, Luke was in an undisclosed location, Long Beach.
You guys can't beat. I'm really gullible, man. I thought you guys were really in the same harbor.
No. He was at MDR. I was in Long Beach.
Yeah, and actually, Trevor was with me. I actually had a couple of people come out. Brennan, he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going fishing tomorrow. If you want to join me, you can." He brought another guy from a little bit from somewhere. I have no idea. He probably told me, but we met up. We fished. I missed probably 5 fish and landed another 5, so I went 5 for 10. It was, it was an okay bite. I just wasn't using a deep enough EWG hook, so the clearance between the fish actually biting down and the hook potentially penetrating.
Someone should make a video on hook clearance.
Yeah, I think this one guy, Luke, something like Artemis has actually made a video like that, and I should follow his. You should. His instruction. But yeah, so fishing MDR can get a little bit difficult just because of the amount of structure that you're trying to play off of.
And there's no fish.
There's no fish.
So the difficulty is even having that little bit of clearance of bending the EWG hook kind of was just like, I don't know if I want to play around with that. I'm fishing in the rocks and just having the bait exposed. Mm-hmm. And so, when the hook is just inside the bait, that was kind of my comfort zone. And so just having even the EWG up just enough to even potentially penetrate the cheek of the fish or the spotty, I don't know. I would rather have a deeper EWG hook so that the bait can actually fold and expose the hook.
What were you throwing?
I was throwing the candy craw for the majority of the morning. I caught 3 on the candy craw and then missed another 3 or 4 on it. And then I was like sick and tired of missing them because I missed 4 in a row. And it was like back to back. So I missed 4 and then I was like, all right, I need to go to an exposed hook. So I started throwing the firecracker Neds, and almost immediately I was starting to hook up. So just that exposed hook was the difference between me hooking up my hookup ratio.
TK was just asking about the jungle hooks, if they have a good hook clearance. The hook clearance is all going to depend on what bait you're putting on. I fish the jungle hooks a lot. I use them for my 8-inch flukes, and they have plenty of hook clearance for an 8-inch fluke. But if I put that into some, actually, yeah, fuck it. They got a hook clearance for everything. I don't know that there's a hook with much more clearance than that, period.
Yeah. The clearance is definitely a big issue for any bait that you're fishing, and it's important. And I knew this in the morning because like when I put the candy craw on, I was like, man, that clearance is pretty thin. Like, there's not much. There's not a lot of wiggle room. So then, knowing that I still fished it because I didn't have any other sized hooks that would fit the candy craw. But now I'm like, all right, I need to go get some hooks for sure.
So Black Flag wanted to know about bending it laterally like an offset. The thing is about bending it laterally, not that I necessarily have a problem with it at all to begin with, but when you have an exposed hook, you still have the same hook clearance issue. You're just now having it on this end of it. So if you have an exposed hook and that's how much you have, it's not any different than if you have a buried hook and that's how much you have. So it's all relative. It's not even necessarily about bending it. It's more if you have a fatter bait like that, it doesn't matter if your exposed hook only has a little out. It doesn't have enough beef to get in there. You still need to have the appropriate size hook for the bait. So it wasn't even exposed hook versus EWG. It was about hook size to the bait. And his exposed hook had the correct ratio.
Luke, was that an 8-aught hook?
Oh no, this is a 15-aught hook. And it's about the size of my thumb. This is a jungle hook though, by the way. I think this is a 7-aught or an 8-aught.
Yeah, TK was telling me about those, and I need to check in on them.
This is what I use for Texas rigging my flukes.
Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of the Texas rig, a lot of the Jika rig, and those require EWG hooks. So I need to find some better EWG hooks, or Charlie actually got these hooks that are like smaller grade beast hooks.
They don't have. Yeah.
Well,
so that you actually have to screw them in, but they're small enough for a 1/0.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
It's the.
But just to show you, even on these, like this is the 8-inch fluke, and it ends up that sizes out real nice and does have a good hook clearance.
Yeah, and the fluke also has a split in the belly that when it folds, it allows for the hook.
That's how you know
to be exposed.
That's how you know it's a girl fluke.
Yeah. It's no more the birds and the bees. It's the flukes and the slugs.
The flukes and the slugs.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Is that what you're going to tell your children, Charlie?
The birds, the flukes and the slugs.
Yeah.
No more birds and the bees.
No more. Down with it. But yeah, so hook clearance was definitely a problem Saturday. And so I need to get more hooks. I need to get different hooks to fit the candy craw because that was easily the issue. I lost one fish just because he was holding on to the bait and he wasn't actually hooked. So when I went to bounce him, he just popped off. But it does look like the spotties and the more harbor bass are moving towards a crustacean diet. So they're weaning off fin bait and moving towards crabs and clams and stuff.
I would say I think my last couple spotties were on the craw.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my outer craws.
Thoughts on upgrading drag to carbon fiber washers? I guess that would all depend. I don't have any reels aside from the DC where I feel I need to upgrade them. Maybe like if you're fishing a Shimano Calcutta, I know that has a lighter drag and you might want to upgrade that. I'm not sure exactly what reel you're using, but I fish mostly Daiwas, and even my small Daiwas, like my Tatula 150, has a really heavy drag.
And we got Western Species. What's up, Vic?
Evening, Vic. But yeah, I would say I should not speak on reels.
What's up?
Yeah, so he just said he upgraded on his Shimano, and that's what I was gonna. I don't know why Shimano does it the way they do it, but I think the DC has a really low, which is a Corrado. It has a really low drag, like 10 pounds or maybe 11 pounds, where the Tatula is up in the 20s. So yeah, if I'm fishing the Shimano more, I would definitely want to upgrade it.
Yeah, I've slowly been upgrading my gear to better fit the fishing style, as well as just kind of upgrade my ability to fish. Because I will have to say that upgraded gear, it could be the difference between you catching a fish just because it casts 4 feet further, 3 feet further, or, the drag is 20 pounds over 17 pounds. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just that little upgradedness that catches the fish. And George
said, "What's up?" He said he just finished eating, and we all know he just finished eating some striper.
Some striper?
So at least he's not eating spotties.
Right. Yeah, George wasn't on when we were talking about him killing it on the striper.
Oh, really? That
was a big one.
Oh, I gotta catch that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he ran up to the aqueduct.
Interesting.
Have you ever caught a striper, Luke?
Aqueduct with me?
No.
Have you, Daniel?
No, I haven't been. I don't do a lot of fishing north of.
Spotty tortas are bomb. Vic said spotty tortas are bomb.
Oh, I bet. Those.
Dude, I'd go for a quarter right now.
The what?
I said I could go for a torta right now.
Yeah. All right.
Pretty hungry. All right, fellas.
Is there any housekeeping that you guys want to say?
Yeah, you know what? I just want to thank everyone for coming on here. I think I might have been telling Dan, I don't know if I told you, Charlie. It's really awesome. Every weekend, every week I'm working for the weekend. I'm planning out what fishing I'm going to do and kind of setting up my gear. And it's really cool to have this Tuesday to look forward to and know we're going to have some good fishing talk. We're going to have some cool people on. We're going to have some cool people in the comments section asking some fun questions, people fucking around doing their back and forth. And it's become a real fun midweek breakup in my life. So yeah, everybody, thank you for coming on here. Cause
thank you guys.
I don't know that we'd still be doing this if it was only 5 people every day.
We do appreciate you guys. Doc Stalker. So I fish the Texas rig almost like 9 out of 10 times. I've been moving over to the Ned rig a lot because that does well right now, just because of keeping the bait up, keeping the claws fluttering. Like I said earlier on, I like to fish every style so that I can better, understand and potentially advise for other people. But Texas rig is something that I fish most often. So I like rigging all my bait Texas rig. But I mean, the Candy Craw is caught on just a lead head, the Ned rig, drop shot, Texas rig, Jika rig, Carolina rig. So I mean, you name it, it will catch fish. But if I'm fishing it, it's probably going to be the Jika rig or the Texas rig. I like the Jika rig, and you can see that on my channel or whatever, on my posts. I have a Jika rig breakdown. But if you want, you can hit me up afterwards in the DMs, and I can tell you more about it. But the cool part about the Jika rig is it tends to slide up and down, which will get the antenna and the claws fluttering. But from there it won't roll like the Texas rig because it's stationary on the clip. So it's allowed to swim up and down the clip, but it won't roll. So it keeps that nice presentation of it just flat. It keeps that bottom contact, and it allows for that flare up and slow sink. And so the Jika rig is an all-around, all-year solid rig. And again, this
I've even seen you do well on the Jika rig at the wall.
Yeah. I mean, I've caught calico on the Jika rig, sand bass on the Jika rig, and spotted bay bass, sculpin. I mean, you name it. Anything that's going to be bottom contact, the Jika rig is a solid rig.
So these are my two main ways for the craws. What do we call this one? The red crow or something?
Red crow.
And
Yeah.
I've got the floating sudden impact on a Dallin lead head, and I like to play them low and slow on the bottom, let them dredge, let them dig in the dirt a little, let those claws come up, and I've done really good on the black and red, and I've done really good on the mac and cheese with a green and orange.
Yeah. So, and the cool part about fishing the Texas rig or fishing the Jika rig is because it's an EWG hook, it's really easy to put on or take off and just go through the colors. You know, a lot of people say that colors don't matter, but sometimes, either switching the color out makes you fish differently. So sometimes like just, going from one color to the next might slow down my fishing, might recenter myself and go, okay, like, all right, I have a new bait on, new confidence, blah, 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 blah. So it's nice to use an EWG hook because I can just take it off and put it back on.
And some people say that color doesn't matter, and I just wish I was as good of a fisherman as all those guys.
Yeah.
Right? Color matters, man.
George, I actually I want to make some more mac and cheese jigs, but I also just made a mac and cheese colorway for the soft plastics to go with it. I'm really excited about it, and it's really cool.
Is that the one that you gave me on?
I came up. That was a misprint, and I was like, this is really cool. If I just add a little bit of red flake to this is going to be like my.
So did you write it down? Or are you going to be able to reproduce it?
Yes, I will. I know,
because we all know.
TK is going on about how much he likes white weed guards. I don't know if he's messing with me or not, because I've been calling Daniel like, I need to get rid of all these white weed guards. I hate these damn things.
Yeah, dude, white guards is Z-Man. That's where it's at.
Fuck Z-Man. Fuck white weed guards.
Oh, I just want to say to the 19 people that are on here, I have reached out to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He's definitely coming on.
If I ask enough, if I ask enough, we might be able to get him on. Okay? So we should all, tag Dwayne in this live. I don't know how we're going to do that. I don't know how we're going to get enough publicity to get him on here. But could you imagine if we got a pond review? That would be pretty fun. Just saying.
All right, guys. It's been a fun one. Like you said, thanks to the guys who jumped on. Thanks everybody who jumped on. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yeah. Much love. Giveaway coming up next year. We're going to sit down and think of dates for the Glizzy at the Ramp. We're thinking about locations too.
Oh, that's a good idea. Make the Rock a giveaway winner. One of the 20.
Yeah, and then in the giveaway, that's going to be one of the requirements. It's going to be tag a friend.
Tag the Rock.
Tag the Rock.
You have to do it now. You have to do it now. You can't tag the Rock.
Yeah, one of the giveaway requirements is going to be tagging the Rock to join our live.
He's going to be going, is this mandatory? Is what mandatory?
Even if he just jumps on the comments, that'll be.
Oh my gosh, that would be next level.
We're just gonna have to settle for getting Cast and Crank on here.
What's up, Phil?
We'll make something work. But
so you gotta follow. You gotta tag the Rock on your post.
Yeah.
To win. To win the giveaway.
We got to generate a hashtag that's like pond reveal, but for the Rock, and just somehow gain popularity, just so it's like we can get this going.
I think if we get enough people, he'll hop on. All right, guys.
Dude.
Got to jump.
All right, take it easy.
All right, peace.
See you guys later.
Love you
Bye.
both, but also thanks to everybody that hopped on. See you next Tuesday.
Later.